Hello guys, welcome back to another painting video. This video is going to be a bit different than the videos that I normally do when I'm repainting something and using an airbrush. I've had a lot of subscribers and followers ask me to do a more simpler way of painting, and this is the most simplistic way that I can think of to show you guys who are beginners how to make your dinosaur models look really good without having to have too much skill or an airbrush. This is all going to be done with dry brushing. Dry brushing is how I first started out painting models and stuff like that, just watching dry brushing videos on YouTube. So I'm going to show you here with basic colors that you can find at Walmart or Hobby Lobby or Michael's. They're all the very cheap craft paints that you can get. We're going to be doing just very basic colors, not a whole lot of detail. And the model we're going to be using is this Lindberg Dilophosaurus model that I painted once already for the channel. But I primed it black for this video, so I'm going to repaint it again. So we're going to take you step by step, all of the colors that we're going to be using on this dinosaur here. And for starting off first, we're going to want to prime it. Now this model is made of a hard plastic, so we can use rattle can primer. And for that, I'd use flat black primer. Flat black primer is going to be your best friend when it comes to painting these models, because it's going to allow all the little cracks and details to still pop through, because we're going to be doing nothing but dry brushing on this thing. So you're only going to need a dry brush for this and your paints. Now I'm choosing green and brown. Of course you can do this any color that you want. Just make sure that you have a wide variety of colors. As you can see here, I've got dark greens all the way up to light greens. And here I've got dark brown all the way up to a flesh tone. And all the colors that I'm using are all back here. And you can find them at any craft store. Just make sure you have a wide variety of colors to choose from, because we're going to be building up from a dark to a light color with the dry brushing. So I'm going to start off with my model here. And we're going to build up the underside. So I'm going to start with the darkest brown I have. And I'll work my way up to eventually just doing a light dry brush with this Mocha color right here. Okay, so I'm going to start with the brown, the dark brown, which is a chocolate sprinkle, I think that's what it's called. We're going to load up the brush and we're going to dry brush it. So we're going to wipe off most of the excess here, flip it over, and we're going to start lightly applying it to the bottom part of the dinosaur. Now this will work with any dinosaur, it doesn't have to be a Dilophosaurus. And like I said, you can paint it any color you want. This is just for reference, just to show you. So you want to real heavy-handed kind of dry brush on the underside, up into the belly. And now we're going to move up a color. So this is real brown. So it's a little bit lighter brown. And lightly apply it. Just hitting all the raised areas. Just like that. So it's getting a little bit lighter, which is good, is what we want. So the next color we're going to move up to Territorial Beige. We're going to load the brush up and get most of it off. And the lighter we get, we're going to start doing a really light dry brush on it. Just enough to catch the high parts. I chose this model because it has a lot of sculpted detail in it, and it's just thin and long, so it's easy to kind of show what to do on it. But you can do this, like I said, to any model you want, any dinosaur toy from Jurassic Park or any kind of dinosaur line. So we're just dry brushing the Territorial Beige on here. Okay. All right, see it's starting to pop. It's looking good. Just make sure we get all of the underside. And it's okay if you get it on the top because we're going to be doing green all along the top part of it. So, all right, so the next color, we're going to go to the lightest one that I have here, and that's the light Mocha. And this is the lightest one, so we want to make sure that the brush is extremely dry. And we're going to lightly touch it to the model. Just getting the high parts. And don't be afraid to experiment with different colors. It doesn't have to be, you know, this assortment of browns that I have. This is just what I've got on hand at the moment. So see all that detail popping out? It's looking good. I want to just dry brush up. Concentrate right on that ridge right there in the bottom. Make it pop. All right, so we got the bottom part done. Now we're going to be moving on to the entire top of the body, tail, legs, and arms in the face area. And we're going to start out again here with the nice darkest green that you can get. Now you can get even darker colors than this. Like I said, this is just all I have on hand at the moment. And so we're going to do a nice heavy-handed dry brush with the English Ivy green. And it might not look like it's showing up at first, but we're wanting to build color layers. So just wash it, just scrub it all onto the model. And we're going to start blending it down into our flesh tone here. All right, so that's one side done. We're going to flip over and do the other side. All right, just like that. You see all that detail starting to pop out. So now we're going to move on to my next lightest color, which will be this one here. I believe this is mossy green, if I'm not mistaken. I got my colors mixed up while I was setting up the film. Okay, now we're going to move up to the next lightest color. I think it's this one. And we're just going to lightly hit all the bumps. All right, I'm going to go up another lighter color. I think it was this one. I'm losing track of my colors now. Okay, and we're going to start doing it even lighter. Hitting those little pebbles right there. All along the ridge. Hands, face, very, very lightly. Just barely touching the model. See, it's really starting to pop. But just a few simple techniques like this right here, you can really bring this thing to life. All right, I think we'll go up one lighter color. This one is palm leaf, I believe. Since it's the lightest one, I want it to be real dry. We'll see how this looks. All right, so now we're going to focus on the inside of the mouth and the eyeballs and the teeth. And for that, we're going to use gloss yellow for the eyes, and we'll use vintage white for the teeth. And for the inside of the mouth, we're going to take our light mocha and mix it with a little bit of purple. So we'll just take a little bit of purple and a little bit of the light mocha, mix them together. So we'll get just a little bit of water right in here. And we're going to want to just take a bit of this until the color consistency is how we like it. Now you can do this color, whichever color you prefer, if you want red or whatever. I like this kind of pale purplish kind of color. And so we want to thin it down. Hopefully I'll be able to focus on this. All right, so you want to get the tongue, and you want to flip it upside down like this. You want to get the roof of the mouth. Alright, so while the gums and the tongue are drying, we'll tackle this eyeball here. Now I'm going to use a gloss yellow. This one has a very small eye, so it's kind of hard to do it. Okay. And then we'll flip it around to the other one. All right. So we got our little yellow eyeball. Okay, and now we're going to paint the teeth. So I've got some antique white for the teeth. And what I'm going to do is come over here to my brown. I'm going to take a little bit of the brown, the dark brown that I have. I'm going to put it over here and take a few drops of white just to make it a little bit darker. And just gently touch the teeth. All right. So now the next step here, we're going to take some gloss black and paint the claws. Don't forget the dew claw. All right, and so now comes the little teeny tiny eyeball. I had trouble with this model when I painted it the first time, because that eye is so small. Okay, there we go. Okay, so at this stage of the model, you could consider this done if you didn't want to continue any further. It looks great and it would display nice on a shelf. So this is as far as I would go with this dry brushing. However, if you want to continue with some more detail, and the detail being the iconic Dilophosaurus white and black stripe down its body, I'm going to go ahead and cover that in this next part of the video. So the colors that we use for the black and white stripe going down the body are vintage white and jet black. And I will water the vintage white down to a nice watery consistency, just enough to where I have control over it on the model. And as you see here, I have already done this side of the model. And what you're going to want to do is just kind of do a random pattern all the way down the side, because we're going to go back in with the black and we're going to fill in the black section all down the white stripe. And so we'll just turn it around here and start up here on the face. Alright, so that's the white stripe, and now we'll let this fully dry, and then we're going to come back and fill all the middle section in with the black. Alright, so the white paint has dried, and now we're going to take the black, and we're going to start concentrating and focusing on the center part of the white, and we want to leave a nice little white ridge on the outside for our outline. And now that we've finished all of the painting on the model, the final step is to seal it, and we're going to use a flat crystal clear. We're going to go ahead and seal it. Well, alright guys, so that's going to do it for this video. I hope you found the information provided useful and you're able to apply it to your own models. I know this is a very basic form of painting, but hopefully it will get you started and get you headed in the right direction. But if you did enjoy this video and you did find it useful, please let me know in the comment section below. I know a lot of you have requested it, but I'd like to get an idea of how many people would like to see more of just these basic dry brushing type videos. I have plenty of dinosaurs to work with for future videos. For example, here I have the Jurassic Park 3 Tyrannosaurus ready to roll, and I have the Lost World Chasmosaurus right now ready to roll, and I can do videos on these with the same type of technique with just dry brushing and just some basic detail work. So just let me know, guys, and I'll be more than happy to start working on these videos. They do take a long time to film and upload because of how long they are, so it won't be an every week kind of thing, but maybe a couple times a month I'll be able to get these videos up for you guys to use on your own projects. So for more Jurassic Park related content, guys, you know where to find me. Links are in the description box below. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.